Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video session, I am going to solve the Cambridge International AS A-Level Computer Science Paper 2 that is related to fundamental problem solving and programming skills. Let's start the session. Task number 1 is about arrays. Task 1.1, what you will do? Design a way to store multiple pieces of data about a student in a single string. For example, you could store each student name, email address, and date of birth as follows. Post student name, then asterisk, then email address and date of birth. What you will do, declare the array, prompt and input for student name, email address and date of birth. Form the string as shown. Assign the string to the next available array index. Repeat from step 2 for all members of the class. These are the variable declarations. I have declared these variables as a global variable dim std array that is used to keep the student record in form of array, and this array type is string, and other variables student name, email, date of birth and student record as string. In the main function, this is main function. In main function I have called task 1.1. okay, this is task 11. I have written a name task 11, mean that is belongs to task 1.1, and this is task 1.1. this is subroutine. This is task 1.1. dim n as integer. This is a variable n will keep the value that you will enter the number of records that you want to store in an array. It means it will shows how many students are in a class. First of all, I will ask you enter the number of students in your class, and you will use console.readLine function that will get input from user at the time when program is running, and that will be stored into variable n. After this, here I will redim because I want to use as a dynamically array. Okay, that's why I have used redim, and this is array name and this is number and length of the students, or means strength of the student. For index equal to 0 to n minus 1, because if you will enter value of n is 4, it means you will have to move from 0 to 3. okay, and each iteration they will ask you to enter the name and enter the email id and enter the date of birth. okay, you are saving all these input to the respective variables like name, email and DOB, date of birth. After this, I need to concatenate these three fields: student name, this is student name, and student email ID and student DOB, and in between I am putting the asterisk, okay, as it is the requirement in the question. After this, that record that will become a single record that will store into one element of the array. okay, the value of index is 0. First it will store on 0 location, then 1, 2 and so on. okay, when this loop will be finished, means when you have entered all the students record, students data into the array, then I used to call one display function. One function name is display underscore std detail. What is going on? The purpose of this function is to show the records that you have stored into the array. Index equal to 0 to std array dot length minus 1. Why it is length minus 1? Due to starting index is 0. okay, now I want to show you how this task 1.1 is working, and I will show you the output of this task. Enter the number of students in your class. Suppose you want to enter how many students in your class. Suppose you have maybe 30, 39, 50. okay, for the time being I'm going to enter the value 3. okay, it will ask me enter the name of the student. I'm going to enter name is Ali. Enter the email of the student, suppose ali@gmail.com. enter the date of birth in DDMMY format 12/03/2005. enter the second student name, and in this way they will ask me to enter all three student name. Now I have entered all these three students record, and after this it will display me the array elements. okay, This is Ali asterisk Ali at the rate of gmail.com, and then date of birth. All these three records are like this. This is task number one. This is task number one, and I have saved this task number one into separate file. If you need this task, if you need this file, you can send me an email. I will give you the reply. Now I'm going to this task one. I'm copying all the program into task one. Now I'm going to open task 2. In task 1.2, consider what happened when a student detail are deleted from the array because the student has left the class. Decide on a way of identifying unused array elements and only output elements that contain the student details. Modify your program to include this. Now this time I'm writing task 1.1 also and call task 1.2. I have written task 1.2, and in these two functions, these two subroutines are in the main. First task 1.1 will execute it, then task 1.2 will execute. Okay, now you have seen the working of task 1.1. Now I'm going to start task 1.2, that is task 12. Okay, what is happen in task 1.2? This is I have taken one variable name is ch as a string, and then del record as a string. First of all, I'm going to display all with index. It will display me all the existing element in the array. Okay, and then it will show me message enter the index value to delete the record. After this, you will enter the index number that will store into variable del record. Then I'm going to call delete record. There is another subroutine, and that subroutine is taking one argument or parameter, that value you want to, that index you want to delete it. Console.write, you want to delete another record. This is just confirmation message. If you want to delete another record, you have to press yes. Otherwise, you can press any other key. Okay, this will store into variable choice, and then this is in a loop. These all statement will be executed in a loop. If you want to delete it again, you can press yes, and then this will be repeated again. Once loop will be terminated, then it will display the remaining value, display all with index. Okay, now I want to show what is happen in delete record. If you will right click on it and you will go to the definition, okay, this is the definition of delete record. In delete record, it takes one parameter del record, and here I am declaring another array temp n-1. This is temporary array. Why it is n-1? Because n means number of elements that are already saved in the array, but you are going to delete one record. It means one record is less. That's why I have declared another array with the name of temp n-1 as a string, and then dim index as integer equal to 0. By default, index I have started from 0. This is a loop for x equal to 0. Actually, what I am doing, I will check which index you want to delete. That will not copy that element into temporary array. All the elements from the student array I will pick and will copy into temporary array, except of those that I want to delete the record. For x equal to 0 to student array dot length -1. Okay, if x not equal to del record, it means that index that you want to delete it. If it is not equal, then it will copy from student array to new temp array, temporary array. Okay, and it will store the record into the index, and index will increase by 1. It will copy all the records from student array to the temporary array, but it will not copy that element that you want to delete it. Okay, then if index equals to 0, if index is 0, because you are starting from index equal to 0, it means there is no change in index. It means the deleted index is not found, the deleted index is not existed. Okay, this is just for checking whether the deleted index is within the range or outside the range, or it is not existed. Else, if it is found, if value of index will be changed, then what I am doing, I am going to erase that array, that student array. What is already there. I'm going to erase all the elements from the array. Then I'm redefining this array with index -1. Why index -1? Because here is one index is already one step move. One step is ahead. Index equal to index +1. Okay, index -1. Then that's why I have put index -1. Then you will reverse from temporary array to student array. You will copy all the elements from temporary array to student array. Okay, in this way you will delete that. After this is one function, display all with index, and it will show me the index of all the value, all the elements. It will shows me this values contains, this value is existed on this index. Okay, index, number, and then array. Okay, I want to run this program. Okay, in main method I am calling task 1.2, and this is task 1.2. Now I have entered the record of these three students. Now it's showing me index 0 contains Ali, asterisk Ali @gmail.com, and next date of birth. Index 1 contain this value, index 2 contain this value. Okay, what you will do, enter the index value to delete the record. Okay, what you will do, suppose you want to delete the record number 1. Okay, when record number 1 will be deleted, record number 2 will shifted in place of record number 1. Do you wish to delete another record? If you wish to delete another record, you can delete it. I'm going to delete, yes. Now they're showing me index 0 is existed Ali, and number 1 is Usman. Before Usman is on index number 2. Now I want to delete index number 0. Okay, what I will do, I will press index 0. Enter the index value to delete the record, index 0. Do you wish to delete another record? No, I will not delete another record. Okay, remaining on index 0 value is Usman Usman asterisk and Usman email ID and then date of birth. This is task 1.2. Task 1.3, extend your program to populate the array as in index 1.1. Prompt the user to input a student name, search the array to find the name and output the corresponding email address. You will enter the input, enter the name of the student, and then you will find out the email of that student. Now I'm going to call task 1.3, that is task 13. Okay, this is task 13. What I'm doing here, I will search student name, and this is split array because I will split student record into in other array. Okay, that one record that contain 3 fields, I want to make it that 3 field into separate fields into another array. Dim flag as boolean equal to false, that will shows me whether it shows me record has been found or not. This is message, enter the searching student name, will store into the search student, and then it will start from 0 to length of array. It will start from 0 to last element, and what it will do, it will split. This is the name of the array, std array, this is index. It will get the value from this place and split by using this pattern. Okay, what I am giving the pattern, by using the star, where star will find, then it will separate. Okay, and in this way SPL array will get 3 elements, ID, email ID, and date of birth. Name will store on 0 location. Okay, that's why I have used SPL array. This is in a loop. SPL array of 0 equal to search student name. What you are searching the name, if that value will find in the SPL array of 0 index, then what you will do, then you will show me that email address of that student. Okay, and then flag will be true, that will shows me value has been found or not. Okay, this when loop will finish, then flag equal to false, it will check. If flag equal to false, then it will display me message, your searching student name is not found. I want to run this task. Enter the searching student name is Ahmad, then they will display message Ahmad email is Ahmad gmail.com. This is task number 1.3. Task 1.4, extend task 1.3 to output a list of all students who have a birthday in a given month. Now I'm going to call task 1.4, that is task 14. In task 14, what I'm doing, this is the search student date of birth, this is split array, and this is flag that will shows whether value has been found or not. Enter the month in format to check the list of the birthdays. Then it will store into variable search std date of birth. Then it will start from index 0 to student length -1. It will move from 0 to student array length -1, and then it will split by using this asterisk. Okay, and it will store into SPL array. Okay, now I'm going to select the month, because you are entering the value in form of like April, May, June, like that. Okay, mean APR mean 3 characters. You are entering value in terms of 3 characters, and it will check, it will pick that 3 starting position from 3. This is SPL array 2. Why it is 2? Because 0 contains the ID, 1 contains the name, email ID, and 2 contains the date of birth. That's why I'm picking this string. I'm picking this element from SPL array, and I'm using mid function that will start from this value, and we will pick 3 characters, and it will check whether it is equal to search criteria that you want to search. If it will match, then it will display ID has birthday in this month. Okay, flag equal to true, that it will indicate whether value has been found or not. Okay, now I want to run this program. I'm going to enter 3 records. Now enter the month in format to check the list of birthdays. Okay, what I will do, I will enter April. It will shows me 2 student record. No, it shows me Ali has birthday in April, Saad has birthday in April. These 2 students has the birthday in this month. This is task 1.4. Task 1.5, convert your design to use a 2D array and add additional piece of data for each student. Okay, now here I will use 2-dimension array, and I will store the student name, address, date of birth, student ID, and tutor ID. This is task 1.5, mean task 15. What I did, enter the number of students, same, n is the number of student that you want to store into the 2-dimension array. Redim, because 5 column is fixed. Okay, because student name, student email ID, date of birth, student ID, and tutor ID, 5 elements are there. That's why I fixed number of column 5, but n will be changed. That's why I put this is dynamically redim. Okay, and it will start from 0 to n-1. It will ask to enter the name, email ID, date of birth, student ID, and tutor ID. It will store into their respective variables, and after this I am storing this variable to the index, means that is 0 of 0 column, row 0 and 0 column, then 0 row and 1 column email, 0 row and 2nd column date of birth, 0 row and 3rd column student ID, 0 row and 4 column tutor ID. In this way, this is I am placing all these statements in a loop. Okay, it will store all the students that are in that class, and it will store all the students records in form of 2-dimension array. After this, I want to display this one. Okay, index, I'm going to start from index 0 to n-1. Okay, and it will shows me all the elements that is in 2-dimension array, student array, index of 0, index of 1, 2, index of 3, index of 4. Here is index of 4. Okay, it will shows me all the elements in 2-dimension array. I want to run this program. Now they have stored all the student name, email, date of birth, ID and tutor ID. This is the name, then email ID, then date of birth, then ID number, then tutor ID. All the records are here. Okay, this is task number 1.5. Task number 1.6, modify your program to work with the new structure and extend the search to work within any piece of data. You can find any piece of data, maybe student name, email address, date of birth, student ID. You can do search from any piece of data. Now here I have initialized array, two-dimension array with the value, because every time I am entering the value, okay, I have initialized this value with this piece of data. I can find any search from the two-dimension array. Okay, and these are the variable declarations we have used, and task I'm used to call task 1.6, that is task 16. Okay, what is happening in this task? I'm going to enter the search criteria that will store into the search data, and I'm moving to index equal to 0 to, because the length, if you will enter 5 rows 5 column, that will give you the 25 length, but I know that I have fixed 5 column, that's why I have divided by 5. Mean 25 divided by 5, it will give me 5 minus 1 means 4. It will move how many times, how many rows are there? 5 rows. Start from 0 index to 4th index. Okay, and what I'm doing, if search data equal to array student array index of 0 element or index of 1 element, I'm checking with all the columns, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 and maybe 4. Okay, if it will match any one of the column, because I am using OR operator. In OR operator, in case of OR operator, if any one of the condition will be true, it will return true statement. Then console.write, it will match, then it will show that record. Okay, this is a flag equal to true, and flag last I will check what is value in the flag. I want to show you the output of this task. Suppose you want to find this data, DLL. Control C. I want to run the program. Enter the searching criteria, DLL. This shows me this is Shehbaz @gmail.com. This is the date of birth, this is the student ID, and this is the tutor ID. Okay, now I'm finding the search by using the tutor ID. You can apply search from any piece of data. This is task 2.1. Define a structures for a text file used to store multiple pieces of data like student ID, email address and date of birth. Define a fixed format for student ID, for example 2 letters followed by 4 digits, a format of the date of birth, and it will store like in this format. Okay, this is task 2.1. You can read the task carefully and then you can start this task. I am providing the solution of this task. In the task 2.1, I have used import system.io. The purpose of this IO, I want to use object stream writer as stream writer and object stream reader as stream reader. Okay, in task 2.1, what is going on? This is the number of elements, number of students record that you want to enter, and this is object stream writer. Okay, this is the class, and I am instantiated this class with new keywords, new stream writer and student.txt. This is my file where it will be created. It will be created the same place where I have saved my this program. Okay, and I have used here true statement. Okay, true means I will append all the records. If you will make it false, then every time the file will be overwritten with the existing one. Okay, but here in the program I am using true, that is the same. This is the answer of task 2.4. okay, but I am using here because I want to add the different records. Okay, if you will use false, then every time every time text file will be overwritten. Okay, and if you will use true, then it will not overwrite the existing record, but it will use to append the new records with the existing records. Find x equal to 0 to n minus 1, and then it will ask to enter the student's ID, because what I have set the format, it must be two uppercase, student ID in two uppercase letters followed by 4-digit. First two letters should be alphabetically and it should be in caps followed by 4 digits, and after this you will write 4 digits. This is, I have set my format. Okay, and it will store into std_id, and it will move until you will not fulfill this condition. Okay, student length should be equal to 6. Okay, if it is not, then it will repeat it again, and character is upper, it will check the first two letters should be a character. Okay, means it should be a letters. Okay, character dot is upper left std_id comma 2, because I am picking two characters. Okay, and I'm checking these are uppercase. Okay, if it is uppercase, then it will return true. If it is not uppercase, it will be false. And I have used and. In case of and, if any one of the condition will false, it will return false. And character is digit, and it will check these are the digit, these are the numbers. Mean, right, what I'm doing, I'm picking the string substring from the right side from the student ID. How many characters I'm picking? I'm picking 4 characters, 4 digit. Okay, and I'm checking is all are the digits. If it is all are the digits, it will return true. Okay, and after this I am writing the email of the student as it is. Then student email will store into the std email, and next I am writing enter the date of birth in ddmmyy format, and this time in this case I am checking two things only, two conditions. Number, it should length should be 6, student dob dot length should be 6, and all should be correct, all should be digit. Character dot is digit std dob. If it is all digits, then it will return true. Then it will make one record, one string. It will combine all these three elements, three fields, std_id, email, and std_dob, as it is mentioned in the question. Okay, it will make one string std record, and this std record will use to store into the, here I am displaying only, here I am displaying on the output screen, but it will store by using object stream writer dot write line. Okay, object stream writer, this is the object of this class, and it will write line. What it will write? It will write our record, what I have combined. Okay, these three fields into one string std record. Next, and once this loop will finish, then it will close that file. Okay, I will show you the output. My program is I have saved in this location program. Okay, there is no student file here. The student file is there. I have already copied this file. This file name is different. Okay, student dash copy. Okay, there is no student file is there. Okay, now when I will run this program, it will create one student file. Okay, enter the number of students in your class. I'm going to enter 3 students. Enter the student in ID in 2 uppercase letters followed by 4 digits. Okay, I'm going to enter 1 2 3 4 5 6. It will not accept. Why? Because all are letters, there is no digit. If I'm saying SAD 3 digits, 1 2 3, it is 6, but it will also not accept. If I will write SA 1 2 3 4, it will not accept because I have written lower cases. Now I'm going to enter SA 1 2 3 4. Okay, now it will be accepted. Enter the email of student. Here email student, just you can enter email ID, but here I did not apply any condition yet. DDMMY format, suppose if I am going to write 1 2 3 4 5 6, it will not be accepted because it should be digit. 1 2 3 4 5 6, it can be accepted now. Enter the student ID. Now this is, I'm going to enter the second student. Okay, student ID SA 4352, then email ID, this is email ID, and then 020203, this is the third student DE2345. Okay, cap, it's not cap, DE7654, student email ID @gmail.com, format 050401. Okay, now I will open that file. I'm going to close this screen. You have seen this file has been created, student file. This is student file SA123LE and like that. Okay, D765 Saad gmail.com. Okay, and this file is created. This is task 2.1. Task 2.2, write a second program to search the file for a given student ID and output the email address if the ID was found. Check the ID. If ID will found, give the email ID or suitable message if the ID was not found. Okay, I'm going to call task 2.2. In task 2.2, I will read a file from the text file. I will read the file, read the records from the text file. Task 1.2, flag as boolean equal to false, search ID as a string, and console.writeLine, it will show enter the searching student ID, and it will store that search into the search ID. Now I'm going to reader object. I'm going to call reader object, new stream reader student.txt. This is my text file. By default it will open in read mode because I am using the reader object. std record, it will get the line, it will read the line, and it will store into the std record. It will move until record will find from the file, and I am going to separate because all three fields are combined and stored in form of one records. That's why I need to separate this student ID, because I know that I have entered the length of 6 of my ID. Okay, that's why I'm going to get left part of the string, and I am going to get the six characters. Okay, that will become the student ID. And after this, what I'm doing, I'm checking the email, std email equal to mid. Okay, mid, it will get me the, I'm picking the email is in the middle. That's why I used to write mid function. Std record comma, this is the string from where I will pick the character, comma 7th is the position, because 6 till 6 digit till 6 character, it's that is the ID number. Now email start from 7th, and where it will move, from the total length, student record total length. What will be the total length minus total length, what will be the total length minus 1 to 12. Why it is 12? Because first 6 is the ID number and last 6 is the date of birth. Okay, and remaining will be the middle will be the email ID. That's why I'm using mid function. And then it will check if string.compare, it will check search ID and search ID comma student ID equal to 0. If that search ID and student ID will match, then it will show me the email address of that student. And then flag equal to true. Here flag will become the true. Okay, and so it will fetch the next record, std record equal to reader.readLine. Okay, this will work in form of a loop, and when loop will close, then it will close the file and it will check whether record has been found or not. If record will not find, it will show message searching ID is not found. Okay, now which record I want to find, I will open a file. This is file, where is the text file? This is my text file. I want to search SA, this till now, control C. I want to write here, it will shows me SA1234 email is ali@gmail.com. If I want to run it again, now this time I'm entering another record, suppose AB 1234, this record is not exist. It shows me searching ID is not find. Task 2.3, modify the search code to perform a substring match on the student ID. For example, search for all student IDs that begin with AB. Okay, 2.3. In the 2.3, this is, I'm going to call task 2.3, and here I will check whether the substring is the substring will match with the ID number or not. What I'm doing sub ID as a string, and here I'm going to enter the substring of the student ID that will store into the variable sub ID, and this is the reader that is used to open the file, and file name is student.txt. This is std record that will fetch one record at a time. It will get one line and it will store into variable std record. Okay, and do while not std record, it will move until it will find all the lines from the text file. In this way they will separate the line 6 characters that is belongs to ID number. And what I'm checking if student ID dot contains sub ID, student ID, maybe it will in the start, maybe that is in the middle, and maybe at the end. Okay, then it will show me that student record. Okay, and it will flag will be true, and std record equal to reader.readline. Okay, and if flag equal to true, then it will not display this message, and this message will display when flag will be false. I want to show the output. Which string I want to? If I want to find SA, I'm going to run this program. I want to find SA. Substring is SA. It will shows me 2 records. If I will find 3, only 3, okay, 3, it will shows me these 2 records. Which one is common? D is 7, 6, 5, 5, 4. 4 is common among of all. Okay, and if I will find 4, it will shows me all 3 records. And if you'll find suppose FA, that is not exist, it will shows me searching sub ID is not found. Modify the program to allow the details of additional students to be appended to the file. What you will do, just you will apply one change, that is in task 2.1. by default here is false. False mean that file will be open in overwritten mode, but when you will write, it will use to append the records. It will use to append the records. Okay, but I have already used true. Okay, now they are telling they will use in 2.4 true. When you will use true, it will append all the records. Task 2.5. Consider rules that could be applied to ensure that data entered is acceptable. Okay, modify your program to incorporate these. Now I'm using call task 25. Enter the number of students in a class. Okay, this is same. And what I will do here, student ID I have already used. The length should be 6, and first 2 characters should be alphabetically, and rest of 4 should be a digit. Here I have used enter the email of the student. Okay, here I have applied this email should be validation. What I have valid, okay, because what I'm thinking student email dot length should be greater than equal to 11. Okay, should be greater than, the length of this email should be greater than equal to 11. Okay, one criteria. And other criteria I have written student email must contains at the rate of. If you will not enter at the rate of, it will not be accepted. Okay, and what I have written student email must be contain Gmail, this word Gmail, maybe Gmail, and I have written this maybe Gmail, maybe Hotmail, maybe yahoo.com, and so on. You can write so much on. Okay, I did not use here, actually there is expression we can apply some using by the expression, but I don't want to do in that detail by using the regular expression. Just I have written in a simple format. Okay, simple form. You can implement Hotmail, yahoo.com, MSN, and others domain that you want to use for your school. Okay, and string.compare, it should be compare right mean at the last 4 digit, last 4 characters should be .com, last 4 characters should be .com equal to 0. I have applied this validation for the email. If you will enter, If all the statement will be true, if you will enter, then it will move next. Otherwise it will ask you to enter the email again and again. Okay, for here, here enter the date of birth in DDMM format. I have applied here validation. What I am going to validation, first of all I want to make it separate because this is in string format. I'm going to integer.parse left std dob2. I will get 2 digit just like a day, that will use to get give me day, then month, name, and this I am picking, I am getting by using the mid function. Okay, that will start from 3 and it will pick 2 characters, and yy, that is a year. Integer.parse, it will give, I am picking right from the string name is std.db2. Now in this way I make it separate day, month and year. But what I am going to apply the validation, I am checking loop until student date of birth length should be 6, and all should be character. This is 2 conditions, and third condition I have applied, they will check the day. They will check the day by applying, this is a function day check. It will return true if it will match. What is the function? I will tell you. This is day, month, year. These day check are getting 3 parameters, and month check, there is a month check that will check only, that is are getting only month as a parameter, and year check that will check on, that will get only year as a parameter. Okay, now what is the month check? In the month check means the second or middle value or month should be greater than equal to 1 and less than equal to 12. Okay, return true, otherwise return false. Okay, if it will true, if it is between month 1 and 12, it will return true, otherwise it will return false. Day check, in day check I'm going to enter the day, month and year. I have 2 arrays. Month list 1 is, this contains 1 3 5 7 8 10 12. These are the months that have day 31. Month list 2, these are the months that have days 30. It will check if x equal to 0, from 0 to month list length of -1. It will check all the array months. If entered month will match from this list, then day should be greater than equal to 1 and less than equal to 31. Then it will return true. If it is not in between, it will return false. In case of false, then it will ask again. And if your month is in the list 2, and what is in the list 2? 4 6 9 11. For x equal to 0 to month list 2 length -1, then it will check, then it will give you, then it will check again, day should be greater than equal to 1 and day less than equal to 30, then it will return true. In case of any other value, it will return false. If m equal to 2, if your entered month is 2, then it must be checked whether years is divisible by 4, mean that is leap year. If it is leap year, then day should be in between, day greater than equal to 1 and less than equal to 29, and else, okay, this is else, or if it is not leap year, then days should be between 1 to 28. It will return true, otherwise return false. This is year. In the year, what I have applied the condition, I am checking it should be greater than equal to 0. Greater than 0. Greater than 0 means that shows me value is you are writing in 2000, 2001, 2002. This is 2021. It means the student must be at least 6 years, then come to school, and then you can enter the date of birth. Okay, that's why 15, I am putting the last date is 15. 21 minus 15, at least 6 years. Okay, a minimum 6 years and maximum is greater than 0. Greater than 0 mean from start from 2001, 21 years. Okay, this is my criteria that I am putting. Okay, from my point of view, I am thinking this should be the validation that I put this one. Return true, else return false. Okay, now I want to show you the output. Enter the number of students in your class. Suppose you want to enter one student. Enter the student uppercase. Enter the student ID into uppercase letters. Suppose SA1234, it will not be accepted. If you will write SA1234, then it will be accepted. Enter the student ID. If you will write SAD Saad, then it will not accept it. If you will write Saad and you are writing not at the rate of, it will not be accepted. Okay, if you will write Saad at the rate of, if you write it gmail.com without dot, it will not be accepted. Okay, if you will write Saad at the rate of gmail.com, then it will be accepted. Okay, then date of format. Suppose you are writing 09, you are writing 34 is not accepted. 03 and 03, it will not accept it because day. Okay, if you are writing 12 and 15 and 03, it will not be accepted because month is not 15. Okay, 1 2. If you are writing 29 February 2007, 29 February 2007, it will not be accepted because 7 is not a leap year. It should be 28. Okay, it should not be accepted. If you are writing 29 02 and 2008, it will be accepted. Okay, in this way it will work. Student, if you have any question, any query, you can write in the comment and you can ask me and I will help you. And if you need this scenario, this solution, you can send me an email. I will give you this solution. Okay, thank you. Jazakallah khair. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel.